Yo, what is up guys, it's the Lost Crew. Welcome back to another video. Today we actually have a tier list video, and the only reason why is mostly because I think that this game really deserves some people to talk about the actual competitive viability of some of these characters and if they're actually worth playing or not, and what my current thoughts on them is as characters, because personally I think that there's a few top tiers in this game that really stand out compared to a lot of the other characters. While I also think that most of the characters in this game are pretty balanced, like besides a few that are really overpowered, I feel like the balance in this game is not too shabby. I felt like it's actually a little bit better than it is in closed beta. And I feel like their balance philosophy is one that just allows a few characters to be strong at once instead of just the whole cast, which isn't really that bad, all things considered. It's just unfortunate because that ends up making people just pick all the best characters. I also should note that I will not be able to rate Agent Smith yet because he's not out, but everybody else besides that will be getting a rating from me. All right guys, long-winded intro done. Let's just get into it. I'm going to be kind of blazing fast and just kind of give you small reasons, and then we can discuss it a lot more in the comment section. Let's just get into it. So number one, Jason. This character is really well balanced. I actually think that if it weren't for how good some of the top characters are in this game, this would probably be a very, very, very well balanced character, and in fact wouldn't need any buffs or nerfs or anything like that. But with the current state of the game, you know what I mean, with the state it is in, with like the few characters that are dominating that I'll talk about later, this character is really struggling, and I think that he could drop to this if people, you know, continuously just keep abusing the fact that he's extremely heavy and can be like 0 to 60 by several characters in this game right now. Really good character because of his jab teleport. He has some really nice combos, some nice disjoints, some good special moves, but I just don't think that his weight justifies putting him very high. Next up is Banana Guard. This is an if you want to win character. The thing about Banana Guard, I think I'm actually going to play him, is because he's so linearly designed. I almost want to say he's not a great, like a well-designed character, especially for one of the newer characters. Like I feel like Joker and like Jason completely outclass him in the, you know, like complexity and design department, but I still think he's pretty fun. He's a fun character. He's got, you know, some cool stuff about him, but the most standout things about him is that this character is just ridiculous. Like he's clearly meant to just be a joke OP character. Like they clearly wanted him to commit multiple war crimes against humanity. So you guys know what I'm talking about. His Sair, just ridiculous move. His forward smash, ridiculous move, or his neutral attack, I guess. His kind of like grounded side special, ridiculous move. His aerial side special is pretty unfair. His buff up, like his ability to buff his moves, is just really good. This character's kind of busted, if I'm being honest, and there's really no other people who can argue against it at the top level. Next up, we got Joker. Now, I think you actually have a slight advantage if you're playing a character like Joker. This guy has a lot of things about him that are kind of honest in the way that they're powerful. They're not really like super broken. I feel like Joker's a really well-designed character, and I feel like he kind of works almost like a mage assassin, like you'd expect a mix of Harley and someone else to be like, or a mix of Bugs and someone else to be like. He's kind of just like, he has these really weird mage tools, but he also has this ability to just jab up smash, kill you in 100, the ability to up air up B you and kill you at fucking 60. He has all these different crazy things you can do with him that make him a really good character. Next up, Marvin. I think this is another well-balanced character. This character has a lot of good things about him. His up air is insanely good. He has a lot of good specials, and honestly his button is insanely good for neutral. I don't care what anybody says. If you don't have a good projectile destroying perk or a character that's good at dealing with projectiles, he just shoots out his neutral attack or any one of his projectiles and immediately can just button and completely control neutral, press up special, get his rocket out, run you down with forward air with button, and just have insane damage and insane combos as well on top of his setups and on top of his kill confirms he can do with his projectiles. Marvin has a lot going for him, so I think he's a pretty well-balanced character. Next up, we got Gizmo. Now, I think you're kind of on like Joker level power if you're playing this character. This character's got a lot of good things going for him. Like Gizmo is a fantastic character right now. His up B is broken. I mean, I've been thinking about maining Gizmo. He's so good. His up B is really broken. His up air is insane. His side special without car, like, or also in the air, is really good for kills. His arrow is really unfair for like zoning people out. His popcorn's good. His car is good. The list goes on. If you watch my Gizmo video, you know why this character is good. He is genuinely insane. Next up, this is a character that I'm most kind of guesstimating about because I don't know many Black Adam players out there, but I've heard a lot of talks about this man. His ability to combo is insane. His projectiles are really useful, and there's a lot of good things about him. Like, I genuinely think this is a really good character, just kind of underexplored because he's not very popular. So I think if you want to play Black Adam, definitely highly recommend it compared to the beta, because back in the beta this man was like down here. So I would test him out if you wanted to test him out since beta. Next up, we got Stripe. I also think this character is kind of right in between here. Again, I've never been a massive fan of Stripe's design. I'm still not a massive fan of his design, but I think he's in an okay spot to where I can say he's well balanced. I don't think he's really overpowered. I don't think he's, you know, really underpowered per se. I think the character's in a good spot, but I've heard a lot of people, you know, who play Stripe say he's either dead or that he's really good. So I'm just kind of going to go to the middle of that and say that he's pretty well balanced. Next up, we got Rick. I actually think this character is potentially going to have a slight advantage over others, especially whenever player, I don't know if you guys remember the player Behance or Bans. He's been uploading again, and I know damn well as soon as people know his tech and as soon as people know his setups, same with players like Wolfsight, who used to be really popular in the beta, as soon as people know how to set up with this character, he's going to be broken. So just give it some time, give it another week or two, maybe even another month or two, and I promise you every Rick online is going to be insane. Next up, we got Morty. I actually think he's on the same level, maybe around Black Adam. His jab and his Sarah are just ridiculous. His grenades can kill it like in like egregious percents too. Dirt is also just incredibly broken now. They made it really good, especially now that hitboxes are bigger and people are slower. It's much more hard to avoid. So Dirt is definitely a problem now. This character is pretty good, and I think that even though he's a lot more simple than Rick, he still has the same, you know, brawling tools that made him really good at the end of beta. Next up, we got LeBron. This is another well-balanced character. Again, same problem. He's kind of heavy, so he's a little bit easier to combo, but on the same end, he's insanely good at comboing, has some good ways to kill, has some good setups, overall has great ways to control neutral with his ball, and always just has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. This character is a very high skill cap character that I know damn well could be up here with Rick if I believed in him more, because I think this character is great and all, but there are some core problems with his kit, like the fact that without ball now, he doesn't feel like that strong of a character. All he really has is Nair and side B. Like, I felt like his forward air before was also really good, but now it kind of doesn't feel that good anymore. And there's a few other moves that are kind of like that as well whenever he's unarmed that are just not very strong. So it feels like you're actually at quite a bit of a disadvantage now whenever you lose your ball. I just realized I'm going really slow, so I'm going to speed up a little bit. Next up, we got Iron Giant. This character is cheese lord behavior, dude. They will never understand how to design this character. Like, let's just admit it, this character is going to be broken until we quit this game, right? Eventually, and maybe several years, several months, who knows, right? Whenever you quit this game, this character will not be balanced, will never be well designed. This character is cheap as hell, dude. And the truth is that right now he's got a jab into Nair Infinite. He's got a 0 to death, or sorry, 3 0 to deaths. He's got bolts that kill you at 0%. He's got stupid setups that he does not need. And on top of that, the only thing that really holds him back is the fact that he's easy to combo. But then he can break out of it anytime he wants, like a combo breaker, when nobody else in the game has that. So I don't know, there's just no big weakness with this character if you could just easily break out of combos and then also have ways to kill other people at 0. The risk reward is just always so skewed. It feels like playing against Kazuya and Smash Ultimate. This character is cheap and he's really good, and if you like Iron Giant, then be a bastard and play him, dude. He's really good right now. So I think this is an if you want to win character. Next up, we got Taz. Man, listen, I don't want to say this too early, but man, I think it's Jover. I think this character has absolutely no way to win neutral. Like, this character's neutral sucks. Like, imagine being small and stubby, right? Like Taz is. But on top of that, being unable to control neutral with projectiles or anything like that you like used to be able to with Apple and other things, having cooldowns to worry about for most of your bread and butter moves, with which other characters have 10 times better versions of that aren't on cooldowns. You have just overall a team that just doesn't seem to care about this character. He's very ostracized. He never seems to be very strong, and when he is strong, it seems really cheap. So it's unfortunate, because it's like this character's kind of always stuck in limbo, where it's like if he's up here it feels unfair, or if he's up here it feels just really unfair and unfun, but if he's down here it just feels like, wow, Taz is below tier again, you know? So it's just unfortunate. Definitely hope this character gets some more rework, some more changes to him, because I'm not really a massive fan of how they changed him from beta. Next up for its Jover tier is Velma. This character also sucks, just like in beta and 1s. This character is designed for 2s but isn't even good in 2s anymore, so I wouldn't really recommend playing her right now. She definitely has a lot of potential though, so if you like the character, explore her, try her out, but not a lot of people are believing in her, don't think she's very good, and so I mean, I guess that's pretty fair if you decide not to pick her up. But these are two characters I think kind of enter in their own tier of kind of badness right now. Next up, we got Arya. This character, I almost put her in slight advantage because I do believe that she has a lot of good about her, but after playing against some good Arya players, I don't think this character's carried at all. Like I think that this character has a lot of broken stuff about her. Her uppie is always going to be really good, but after I played her too, it just feels like the character has enough weak about her to it feels like she was intended to be balanced with weaknesses. Like plenty of things about her aerials and about her hitboxes don't go in her favor, and for good reason. And so I feel like this character is kind of in a spot where if you buff her anymore and make her combos any more good, she'll be maybe here and be really unfun and really overpowered. Or if you nerf her at all, she could end up down here and be even worse. So I think keeping her where she is right now, maybe giving a tiny buff or quality of life change would be worth it, but like I wouldn't touch this character too much. Too volatile, man. This character could start zero deathing people tomorrow, so who knows. Next up we got Batman. Now this one's a little bit of a tough one for me, but I'm gonna have to put him here. I think that maybe not ahead of Gizmo or any of these other characters, but I think he's definitely got an advantage on other people. I mean, come on, he's built for one. This character is a ones character. Like I feel like people who try to say that Batman will be anywhere under A tier, under top 10 is lying, because he's designed for this game mode. Like there's no reason why Batman, who has a battering to control neutral, insanely fast speed, great options, fast buttons, all this stuff, combo game, this, that, and the other thing, the ability to kill off the top, like he has everything he needs, right? So it's like this character will never be bad in ones, in my opinion. I always think he'll have the opportunity to outshine any character as long as he's picked. I mean, he just has a lot of good things about him. I mean, bat bomb, batarang, all of his aerials, all of his normals on the ground, like he's just good, man. Next up we got Bugs Bunny. This character is at the very, very bottom of if you want to win, because this is a little bit of a hot take in my opinion. A lot of people don't think Bugs Bunny is up here ahead of Joker, ahead of Gizmo, ahead of Morty, Batman, Black Adam, etc. But this character's busted. Any Bugs Down player is just capping to you right now, because he has 0 to 50 confirms. He has 80 to 110 confirms that just easily kill you off of anything, off of nair, off of jab, off of up attack, off of literally anything. And his bat is just the most stupid shit I've ever seen in my life. That move was ridiculous in beta, and everybody agreed. In beta and alpha, this move was insane. They buffed it and made it better. They buffed it and made it better. I can't make this shit up. I don't understand what they were cooking, making Bugs up air better, making all of his aerials better, but here we are. This character's insanely good. Pick him up. I still think he's hype. I'm not a Bugs hater. I think he's honestly one of the most hyped characters in this tier, but I don't understand why he has to be so good. Like, he's just ridiculous now, honestly. All right, I'll rate Finn now, guys. Finn is at the bottom of Slay Advantage, all right? I know some people might think he's up here. He's competing for the top. I think Gizmo is way better than this character. It would go Gizmo, Joker, Black Adam, Morty, Batman, Rick, and then Finn, and then like literally the tiniest gap, or maybe they could be kind of right here, and then it'd be Finn and Arya. I think Finn and Arya are in the same exact spot. They have the same combo game they used to have. They have a lot of different options to continue those combos. They have dash attack now to approach people, which is kind of useful, considering they're kind of rush down characters who want to zero to death you and stuff like that. So it's like these characters are in similar spots, but it's like everybody at the top is doing what they're doing way better than them, or controlling neutral way better than them. It's just overall a much more solid and more powerful character that has a lot more going for them than like, oh, if someone doesn't have dodge, they can, kill them. Like, I don't think Finn has insane true combos like he used to. Back in the day, he could zero to death you across the stage, full momentum, like from middle stage, from side B or something like that. Like, the character is not like that anymore. He cannot just zero to death you with no thought about it. He doesn't have combos like that anymore. The main ones that I've shown is in my guide, but he still has so many good tools. Like his jab is so good now. They made his jab insanely broken. I want to make a video about that, because damn, I cannot believe I missed out on that. His combo game is just nuts. Like, his disjoints are just nuts, man. Like, he genuinely has some of the best disjoints in the game next to Wonder Woman. This character just is really good. I think there's a lot of people that don't believe in him, and I do. I think he's really strong. Next up, we got Garnet. I actually think this character is slightly better than Taz and Velma. Be a hot take here, but I think she's kind of cusping between these two. I think Garnet's really good. I've played some Garnet. I've also played against some Garnet, and she's not too bad. The only problem is that she just does really bad against the characters with really, really like volatile combo game right now. But I think that overall Garnet's pretty good. I don't really think I need to justify why. I mean, her jab is good. She has some nice 0 to like 30 or 40 combos that are actually pretty solid and set up for good advantage. She has an okay neutral, considering she has a projectile, she has a teleport, she has all this different stuff. So I think she has the tools. I mean, I don't think Garnet's that bad. Let's talk about Harley, ladies and gentlemen. This character is insane. Like, clearly they got some PFG player just literally just playing one-handed on Harley every single day up until the game released, because I'm genuinely convinced that nobody passed this character with a balance check, right? Anybody's gonna tell me Finn or Arya is good. Look at this character, dude. Like, what? She has I think it is, excuse me if I'm wrong here, Harley players, listen, don't hate on me, but I think it's down tilt, forward, I think it's down tilt into up, strong into up air into bomb, and it's a true 0 to death. With confetti perk is just not balanced at all. Her dare is insanely broken. All of her moves generally have just such good hitboxes. Her hammer is as good as always. All of her grounded moves are still pretty strong. All of her special moves are still pretty strong. Her bomb is still really solid. Her forward air is just the god move, probably one of the best moves in the game right now, at least in the air. Just insanely good character. There's really no weaknesses of this character right now. I don't think she needs crazy ridiculous nerfs, but I think she could use some nerfs to her combo game, just some nerfs to her advantage, and you know, maybe some more, because this character is so popular and so strong right now. It's insane. Next up we got Jake. I think actually this character is well balanced now. Like, listen, I know some people think this character is like down here, kind of ass. Like, he's fine, dude. Like, there has been enough time to convince me that Jake is not good. This character has always been good in ones, unless they completely reverted everything that made him good. He's not just gonna suddenly drop to bottom tier. These things don't randomly happen overnight. I think that he's right next to Arya, and I think he's gonna sit comfortably as a nice mid tier or high mid tier until he gets more buffs or other characters get nerfed. Next up we got Rain Dog. This character is also well balanced. I think he's in a really good spot. I don't think there's anything that needs to be changed about him. Like, he has great zoning tools that a lot of Rain Dog players are discovering. The ability to be able to do his up tilt with a lot of momentum and catch people out of the air. He has a lot of ability to shark. He has a lot of setups with his projectiles. He's just a good character. I like him a lot, and I think that he's going to be pretty good in this game. Now, this character is probably the closest to the top tier in this game right now, but it's Shaggy. I think he's right next to Gizmo. I think this character is insanely good. I think they made him just a lot more slow and focused more on being not a smashy, spammy character, but every time you press a button, it wins, right? It's not like you're spamming buttons and they come out at Mach 20 and they just are faster than everybody else, like, you know, maybe like Finn was in beta. But now Shaggy's kind of more, his button's a little bit slower, his grounded moves aren't as fast, maybe slightly less range, but everything kills and does stupid damage. His forward does like 12. His side B does like 15 still. Enrage does like 26. All of his enraged abilities do 20 plus. He still has Sandwich, so he can still, you know, zone people out or edge guard with it. He still has the ability to charge at the edge of the blast zone if someone doesn't have a, you know, a way to shut him down. This character is so good, and I think that, you know, it shows this is Tony's favorite character because he is so good in this game now again. So anybody who hates Shaggy and hated him in the beta, unlucky for you, bro. Next up, we got Steven. Now let me reorder this. I think it could go more like this. I think Steven is probably arguably top 3 right now. This character has so much good shit, dude. His down air can loop into itself infinitely. His down air can loop into itself infinitely. I don't know how any devs let that happen, but here we are. So if you play against a Steven, you'll notice that if he lands a dare on you, he can dare, and I think it's like you dare twice before you fall, and then you jump and then double dare again. I'll get some footage on screen if I can, but it's an insanely good tech, and it just does so much for the character, considering the fact that he already had ridiculous potential in ones before. His up B is good, his up air kills at ridiculous percents, his rose bomb is insane, his ability to kind of parry attacks with his shield is also really insane, and it can basically like easily make fishing for a kill safer. It's just so good. Next up, we got Superman. This is another character who's kind of in this tier, right? I haven't seen him dominating the queue too much, but I don't see any reasons why this character's bad. I think kind of in the same vein as Arya and Jake, these 3 characters are all gonna be good eventually. I don't think there's gonna be any time that'll pass until these 3 characters will eventually be in slight advantage, or if you want to win tier. Like, genuinely, like, these characters are super good with great kits for ones. Superman has great gimping potential, has great moves that are really fast for a heavy compared to, you know, what you'd expect. Especially like with characters like Jason. Like, Superman literally has insane damage and insane range and insane speed, so it's like this character's not missing much except being heavy, so I don't see why anybody's complaining about him. Next up, we got Tom and Jerry. For ones, I don't think this character should get buffed, mostly because I think he's kind of going to be in the same tier as like Marvin, Raindog, Tom, and Jerry. Like, until people play these characters and really flesh them out, they're going to kind of be in the same spot. Like, there's not any reason to justify why Tom and Jerry, Marvin, or Raindog would end up climbing over characters that are kind of built for ones and still have abilities to deal with projectiles when these characters are kind of built around their zoning abilities. However, I do think that Tom and Jerry probably is the best of these three and could go up here just because of how good his slingshot still is and how good Jerry still is, and also just so many options he has. His racket is actually really good now and kills, which is kind of insane. His fishing rod's not too shabby compared to what it used to be. His dynamite is still busted. Basically all of his utility is still really good. Okay guys, say hello to the first or second best character in the game. It is Wonder Woman. These two characters are probably the two best, and this is pretty undisputed. Wonder Woman, I've gone over in a video why she's so good, but I don't really think anybody needs to hear why she's so good. This character, anybody in the comments will be able to agree, yeah, Wonder Woman's pretty unfair, right? Like, we don't need to justify why this character is good. If you've played against her, you know what I'm talking about. This character's disgusting. Her forward air, her neutral attack. I don't even want to think about it. This character's disgusting. Needs nerfs immediately. Like, one of the biggest problem characters in the game right now. All right, and that is my tier list. I know these bottom two tiers are kind of a little bit of a waste of space, but there really isn't no other way to label them. Like, I don't think Taz or Velma are going to be good anytime soon, and I think Garnet could use a small buff to be up with everybody else. I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments about who you think is good and who you think is bad, and let's have a civil discussion in the comments. Chill, and remember, this is week 1, so take it with a grain of salt. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. See you guys next time. Peace.